everybody, this is Monica Neve with Bodycon Female Fitness, and today I have a fun video about the bending movement pattern, also known as the bend movement pattern. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but most fat burning exercise and pretty much everything that you do on a daily basis requires bending at the waist, at the hips, or both. When you get up in the morning, you have to bend over to put on your clothes and maybe to tie your shoes. You also have to bend over to leash your dog if you're going to take it out on a walk and to pick up after it does its business. You have to bend over to pick up kids or pick up after them, to unload your dishwasher, your dryer, pretty much bending over all day long. I actually tracked this the other day and I was really surprised that bending is one of the most used of all the 7 movement patterns, and if you're going to exercise, you're going to have to be really good at bending over without hurting your low back. So if you're going to get down on the floor to do planks or push-ups, or maybe you're just going to do dumbbell rows, even squatting and lunging require bending at the hips and sometimes even bending at the waist. So this is one of the most important movement patterns of all the 7 movement patterns that we're going to be talking about, that you need to be really strong in so that you can get the most out of your fat burning exercises and workouts and get the best results possible when you are exercising to lose weight and to burn fat. All the exercises that you're watching in this circuit are from my ebook, Bodycon Female Fitness. If you want more information about that, be sure to visit the site. There's tons of other fat burning exercises over there that you can check out, and tips on fat loss, weight loss for women struggling with stubborn fat. So be sure to stop by. But today we're actually going to talk about how to improve in the bend pattern, whether it's bending at the waist or bending at the hips, and we're going to do that with some functional core exercises that are very easy to incorporate into your weekly workout routine. Okay, so let's start with the most basic exercise to strengthen your transversus abdominis, also known as your corset muscles or your deep abs. In Pilates, they call it the T-zone. So you're going to lay on your back with your legs bent, and you're going to place a ruler or some other object underneath your back where the arch of your back is, so your lumbar curve. And then what you're going to do is you're going to contract your deep abs. Now, this is not the same as sucking your belly button into your spine. You actually need to feel a contraction happening kind of in the lower ab area where your pelvis is. It almost feels like a Kegel. So if you've done Kegels, it's very similar to that. It's not anything that you've heard before from trainers, which is pull your belly button in. You shouldn't be doing that. This has to be a deep contraction coming from the deep, the deepest layer of ab muscle that you have. Now, once you get that contraction, you place your fingertips over your head with your arms slightly bent, and you can have your legs in various positions, but what you're going to do is you're going to lower either one leg bent or straight, or both legs, and you're going to do this without allowing your back to lift off of that ruler. So that's where that deep contraction is going to come into play. You can do about 10 repetitions on each leg, and you can do any of the variations that you're watching in this video, whatever is right for your fitness level, and then progress to harder versions of this basic exercise. Now, if you're having a hard time maintaining that contraction, something that can help is to place a yoga block between the knees, so you can start with the legs bent and practice it like that, and as you get stronger, then you move on to versions without the yoga block, and you're going to get a lot stronger faster and be able to do all the more advanced fat burning exercises that you see in my workout videos and that are in my workout plan. Now, one thing I wanted to mention before we continue with some more of these core exercises is that you can do these exercises every other day if you want to, but never do them before hard fat loss or weight loss workouts. Always do them after your workouts, after total body or cardio or any other workouts that you're doing is the best time to do them. You never want to tire out your core and then go do something really hard, because you are more likely to get injured. Okay, now the next exercise is actually a lot harder than it looks. You're going to lay face down with your belly button on a ruler. You're going to rest your forehead on your hands, And then what you're going to do is you're going to breathe out and contract your deep abs and until your belly button lifts off that ruler, and then you're going to maintain that contraction for 10 seconds, and then you're going to release and rest for 10 seconds, and then you're going to repeat that 10 times. Now, the trick to doing this correctly is to not tense the rest of your body. So you can't tense up your back, you can't tense up your legs or your butt. You may need help from somebody initially when you start practicing this exercise, because most of my clients, and even I do this from time to time, try to use other muscles to maintain that contraction, which makes the exercise completely pointless. So it helps to have someone sit next to you and poke you around as you are holding that contraction. So have them poke you in the back or in the glutes or the legs to see if you are tightening up those areas. If your core is very weak, you're going to struggle to do it from the floor position. So you may want to come up to your hands and knees and place a yoga block on your lower back where your lumbar curve is or should be. Maintain a curve there and do those same contractions without tensing the body. Once you can do it from the hands and knees, then you can go back down to the floor and practice it on the floor and get even stronger. Okay, so once you're done with all the floor exercises, you're actually going to stand up and you're going to practice bending at the hips, which is also a core activation exercise and a core activation test to determine whether you even have core function. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand with your feet a hip width apart, holding a weight with your arms bent at chest level, and then you're going to offset the feet a little bit, keeping your knees, just slightly bent. You're going to bend from the hips and you're going to reach that ball to the floor. And what needs to happen is you need to contract your deep abdominals so that your belly button just naturally pulls in towards the spine and away from the waistband of your pants. Now, if you have a hard time feeling that contraction because you have a weak core or you've had some kind of a back injury, then it's a good idea to tie a string around your waist pretty snugly, and then as you bend over, make sure that your belly button is actually coming off the string, not by sucking the belly button into the spine, but by contracting the deep abdominals. If you're doing the exercise correctly, every time that you're in that bent position, whether you're going up or down, the string will actually get looser, and then it will just go back to normal tightness when you come up to standing. If you're doing the exercise incorrectly, that string is going to get really tight as you're in that bent over position, which means that you can hurt your back when you're doing really hard fat burning exercises like burpees or sumo squats with heavy weights or any kind of sandbag throwing that you've seen in my videos. All that stuff requires some bending at the waist and a lot of bending at the hips, and if you are not strong enough to handle those exercises, then you're going to struggle to burn fat and to lose weight, because your body is just not going to respond very well to that stuff. It's going to resist all those things like I mentioned in my previous video to keep you from getting injured. Now, the last exercise is a really great way to practice spinal flexion and extension along with core activation, which are all things that happen when you're doing fat burning exercises. So you're going to lay back on a stability ball in a bit of a back bend. You're going to make a peace sign with your fingers and place your fingertips next to your ears with your elbows wide open. Place the tongue on the roof of the mouth and keep it there the entire time. And then you're going to contract your deep abdominals to curl up, and if you can curl up into a full seated position, then do that. Otherwise, just curl up halfway like I'm doing in the video. And this is really a great way to get stronger while also training other movements that you do when you're doing fat burning exercises. Again, if the string gets tighter as you're curling up, then you're doing the exercise incorrectly. If it gets loose, then you're doing the exercise correctly. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and for visiting Bodycon Female Fit. I will be back very soon with another great video to help you burn more fat and lose weight faster.